Welcome to Important Updates, your trusted source for breaking headlines, global insights, and sharp analysis from around the world. If you are new here, do not forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an update. Why are there not more people talking about the real reasons behind China's rejection of India's $100 billion high-speed rail project? Infrastructure projects often reflect the shifting tides of global politics, serving as both symbols of ambition and battlegrounds for influence. The choices nations make about who to partner with and who to exclude can echo far beyond the tracks and stations they build. In the mid-2020s, India unveiled a $100 billion high-speed rail plan, aiming to transform its transport landscape and catapult the nation into a new era of connectivity. The project promised to link major cities, reduce travel times dramatically, and stimulate economic growth across the subcontinent. Many assumed China, the global leader in high-speed rail technology, would be the natural partner for such an ambitious venture. After all, China's expertise and vast experience in building high-speed networks were unmatched, and its companies had already completed similar projects worldwide. Instead, Beijing quietly withdrew from negotiations, sending shockwaves through Asia's diplomatic and business circles. The sudden move left many analysts and officials scrambling for answers. This move underscored the deep mistrust and rivalry between the two giants, rooted in decades of border disputes and strategic competition. The decision was more than just business, it was a reflection of unresolved tensions. For India, it was a wake-up call to rethink its development alliances and diversify its partnerships. The setback forced Indian leaders to look inward, reassess their strategies, and seek new collaborators from Japan, Europe, and beyond. For China, it was a calculated strategic decision, prioritizing national security and geopolitical interests over potential profits. The leadership in Beijing weighed the risks and chose caution, wary of technology transfer and regional power shifts. The failed partnership became a case study in how geopolitics can override even the most lucrative economic opportunities, reminding the world that trust and stability are as crucial as funding and technology. The project was meant to symbolize a new era for India, connecting major cities, boosting the economy, and showcasing the country's technological ambitions on the global stage. But border disputes, strategic competition, and security concerns ultimately derailed the vision, leaving unfinished tracks and unfulfilled promises in their wake. China's refusal was a quiet but firm message: competition, not cooperation, would define their future relationship. The era of easy partnerships was over. The fate of this project reveals the underlying tensions shaping Asia's future, where infrastructure is not just about progress but also about power, rivalry, and the complex dance of diplomacy. India's high-speed rail dream was born from necessity, with millions relying on trains every day. The need for a faster, more efficient system became impossible to ignore. Its vast, aging rail network was a bottleneck for growth, slowing down both people and progress. The old tracks and outdated infrastructure struggled to keep up with the demands of a rapidly modernizing nation. The government envisioned a diamond quadrilateral, linking Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, and Chennai, India's four economic powerhouses, through high-speed rail corridors. The scale was unprecedented: thousands of kilometers of new track, state-of-the-art stations, and cutting-edge technology, all designed to transform how India moves. The $100 billion price tag made it one of the world's most ambitious infrastructure projects, rivaling the biggest rail initiatives globally, and signaling India's intent to leap into the future. The benefits promised to be transformative: slashing travel times between major cities, boosting business productivity, and creating millions of new jobs across the country. More than an upgrade, it was a statement: India's answer to China's infrastructure feats, and a bold declaration of its own capabilities on the world stage. The project was central to the Make in India campaign, aiming to build domestic manufacturing and technical expertise, and to foster innovation within the country. Success would ripple across industries from steel to electronics and demand a highly skilled workforce, creating opportunities for education, training, and upward mobility. The high-speed rail was not just about trains. It was about building a confident, modern India, where connectivity fuels dreams and aspirations for millions. It was a catalyst for economic integration, a bridge between regions, and a symbol of national ambition and unity. The stakes were high. This was India's bid to join the ranks of global infrastructure leaders and to inspire future generations with what's possible. But the path forward would prove far from smooth, as challenges and setbacks soon began to test the nation's resolve. China's rise in high-speed rail has been rapid and strategic. In 2 decades, it built the world's largest network and began exporting its expertise through the Belt and Road Initiative. Rail diplomacy became a tool for influence, offering financing, construction, and technology to developing nations. Some projects, like the Laos-China Railway, transformed economies. Others, like Kenya's, sparked controversy over debt and transparency. Critics warned of debt-trap diplomacy, making some countries wary of Chinese deals. Despite mixed results, China's rail projects projected power and technical prowess. Each new line expanded China's economic orbit. When India announced its mega project, many expected China to see it as the ultimate prize. A partnership could have been a milestone for China's global ambitions, but the risks and rivalries ran deeper than the promise of profit. The stage was set for a clash of strategy, not just steel. India's project would test the limits of China's rail diplomacy. China's decision to walk away was driven by geopolitics, not just economics. The $100 billion contract was tempting, but the risks outweighed the rewards. Years of deteriorating relations, especially after the 2020 border clashes, made trust impossible. Building India's core infrastructure would strengthen a strategic rival, economically and militarily. China was wary of technology transfer, fearing India would become a future competitor. The Make in India policy demanded local manufacturing and tech sharing, raising red flags in Beijing. Ultimately, China prioritized long-term security over short-term profit. The message was clear: cooperation has limits when national interests are at stake. The dream of economic synergy was sidelined by the realities of great power rivalry. The project became another casualty of Asia's strategic divide. Beyond politics, China had serious economic reservations. High-speed rail is expensive, and the Indian project's financial viability was uncertain. Land acquisition, regulatory hurdles, and political instability in India posed major risks. Chinese companies, used to rapid state-driven projects, were wary of India's slow, contentious processes. India sought generous loan terms, but the sheer size of the deal made Chinese banks cautious. Would enough Indians afford high-speed tickets to make the project profitable? China's own economy was slowing, and the era of limitless overseas lending was ending. Beijing was shifting to smaller, less risky projects. This one didn't fit the new model. The combination of economic and political risks made the project untenable for China. Prudence, not ambition, won the day. Security concerns ultimately trumped economics. The rail network would pass through sensitive areas, raising alarms for both countries. India was uneasy about Chinese firms accessing strategic infrastructure. China worried about the safety of its assets and personnel amid ongoing border tensions. The unresolved Himalayan dispute made cooperation on such a scale unthinkable. Both nations saw the project through a lens of rivalry, not partnership. China's broader ambitions in the Indian Ocean only heightened India's suspicions. In the end, security imperatives overruled economic logic. The project became a casualty of deep-seated mistrust. The collapse of the rail partnership was met with official silence. Neither Beijing nor New Delhi issued public statements. The project simply faded from view. Chinese officials stopped discussing it, signaling a quiet policy shift. India avoided blaming China, instead highlighting its pursuit of self-reliance and new partners. The focus shifted to progress with Japan on the Mumbai-Ahmedabad line. Behind the scenes, anonymous sources confirmed talks with China had stalled over security and policy concerns. Chinese media began warning of risks in India, preparing the ground for withdrawal. Both sides preferred subtle signals over public confrontation. The silence itself was a message. The era of grand collaboration was over. The story was told not in press conferences, but in what was left unsaid. With China stepping back, India urgently needed a new partner to keep its high-speed rail ambitions on track. Turning to Japan, a nation renowned for its bullet train technology and reliability, India found not just a replacement but a potential long-term ally in its quest for modern infrastructure. The Mumbai-Ahmedabad corridor, now backed by Japan, quickly emerged as the new flagship project for India's high-speed rail vision. This route, connecting two major economic hubs, was seen as a game-changer for both connectivity and economic growth. Japan offered more than just cutting-edge technology. It brought a partnership grounded in mutual respect, shared democratic values, and a strategic alignment that extended beyond business into geopolitics. Financing was secured through a generous soft loan from JICA, covering over 80% of the project's costs, at an incredibly low 0.1% interest rate, with a repayment period stretching over 50 years. This made the project financially viable for India. For India, this was far more than just a financial transaction. It represented a strategic investment from a like-minded partner, signaling trust and a shared vision for the future. The project soon became a symbol of the deepening Indo-Japanese alliance, with both nations reaffirming their commitment to a free and open Indo-Pacific and to regional stability. It also stood as a powerful demonstration of an alternative to China's Belt and Road model, offering a different approach to infrastructure development in Asia. However, the ambitious project was not without its challenges. Delays due to land acquisition issues, local protests, and bureaucratic red tape became significant hurdles, slowing down progress on the ground. Despite these setbacks, the commitment from both India and Japan remained unwavering. Teams from both countries continued to collaborate, determined to overcome obstacles and deliver results. The success of this partnership is crucial, not only for India's own development and modernization, but also for demonstrating that alternatives to Chinese-led initiatives can be both viable and sustainable. The stakes are high for both countries, as the outcome will influence future collaborations and the balance of power in the region. Ultimately, the results of this project will help shape the future of Asian infrastructure alliances, setting a precedent for cooperation, innovation, and shared prosperity across the continent. The Sino-Indian rail saga reveals the new reality of Asian infrastructure. Asia is now a competitive arena, not a unified space for development. Strategic rivalries shape every major project, creating competing corridors and alliances. India's experience with China underscored the risks of relying on a rival for critical infrastructure. The future lies in diversified partnerships with Japan, Europe, and other democracies. China, meanwhile, is recalibrating its Belt and Road ambitions, focusing on safer bets within its sphere. The continent's railways will run on parallel tracks, one led by China, the other by India and its partners. This competition offers countries more choices but also deepens strategic divides. The race for high-speed rail is now inseparable from the race for power in the 21st century. Infrastructure is no longer just about development, it's about influence. The tracks of Asia's future are being laid by both ambition and rivalry.